All right. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Charlotte.
And I'm Pat.
And today we are taking a look at the 2025 Kia Sportage X-Line Limited, and this is the top trim for 2025. Yes? You're in agreement. Awesome.
I'm in agreement.
Perfect.
I'm just the cameraman.
Now, the title of this video is going to be Small Changes That Make a Big Impact, and today, in today's video, we're going to go over what those small changes are, as well as everything you want to know about the powertrain, the tech, the safety, the comfort features. You want to know about it, we're going to talk about it. Well, I'm going to talk about it, and my dad's going to be here to support me. Yay! So with that being said, let's get into it.
All right.
Turn that around. Great job. All right, so I'm really excited about this vehicle because if you know me, I'm a certified Sportage lover. I drove one for a couple of years, and this is by far one of my favorite SUVs that Kia actually offers in their lineup. So I think it's fair that we talk about what those small changes are that they have made for this year. But before we do that, if you guys have any questions as you're watching this video is live streamed, so it's done in real time. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat and we'll do our very best to answer them for you. If you're watching this after, of course, this video has been posted, leave a comment down below. And as always, like this video, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna turn these lights back on. Oh no, they're still on. It's just the fogs that turned off. Perfect. Okay, so come a little bit closer, cameraman, because I want you to zoom in right on what we have here. So new for 2025 when it comes to the X-Line and the X-Line Limited is we're getting a dark exterior package added on, which means we have this lovely low profile blacked out Kia emblem. So put the plasti dip down. Thank you. My cameraman is doing really good, guys. He's not a great cameraman, but he's an excellent dealer principal and he's an excellent dad, so don't worry. But put that plastic dip down. You're not going to need it on this vehicle because it has a great look to the exterior. Also, keeping consistent with that dark exterior, as you can see that we actually have our deluxe blacked out grille. It's a nice shiny black plastic, which I think looks absolutely great. And it's not just the grille that's blacked out, it's actually the casing around it too. So again, very dark, very luxurious looking, and I absolutely love the look. We're also going to get a little bit darker on our skid plate, a little bit more of a rugged look too, which I think looks great, especially in contrast with this paint color. This is steel gray, and it's a nice metallic paint, very typical of what we'll see in Canada with our grays and whites and blacks and our love of all things neutral, let's be real. But let's talk a little bit about what safety we have on this vehicle. So first, you probably can't miss them, but it's going to be our headlight units. So these are a LED projection style headlamp, and I absolutely love them. For this trim, we actually have full LEDs on the front, so daytime running lights, the headlamp unit itself, fog lights, and we have full LEDs on the exterior too. Now, the nice thing is that these are a projection style, which means it's going to give you that nice focused beam of light. So it's going to help with illumination, better visibility, and then also not blind people coming in the opposite direction because of that focused beam of light. So that's a big win there. For some other safety features we have, I'll have my cameraman give a good look, but you can see that we have front parking sensors. We've got our front camera as well because this vehicle does have a full 360 camera on it. So that's actually one of 5 cameras that this vehicle has. And then down below, like I said, is you do have your parking sensors which can detect. So say if I was driving up to the wall, once I get into proximity, it's going to give me a beep inside the cabin. It's also going to pull up a live feed from that camera, which is pretty cool tech if you ask me. Some other safety features that we are going to have on the front is going to be our forward collision avoidance assist. That's also going to work with cyclists, pedestrians, other vehicles, of course, and it even works in junctions, so if you are turning into an intersection. Down at the bottom, if you're wondering what this it is a rectangle. I didn't know if it was going to be a trapezoid shape this time, but that's actually our radar plate, and that's going to work with another camera that we have that's actually right in here. And that's going to be used for your navigation-based smart cruise control, but also your highway drive assist. So this vehicle, like I said, it's got highway drive assist. So it's going to use that smart cruise control, that lane following distance, and that lane keep assist to give you a really seamless highway driving experience. Basically, what it's going to do is it's going to keep you centered in your lane. It's going to keep you a set distance from the vehicle ahead of you that, like I said, you can set. And if you want, you can actually have it auto adjust your speed limit depending on the road that you are on, and also the navigation. So that's a pretty cool tech feature if you ask me. So let's come around to the side. We'll talk about what else we have here. I like that we have some markers, again, on the wheel arches. And then down below, you can see that we have a 19-inch alloy and a Michelin tire wrapped around that. Now, these wheels, it's the same design pattern as what we saw in 2024, but you guessed it, they're blacked out for 2025, and I think they look really good. It's no, it's not a surprise that blacked out appearance packages have become so common in North America, especially when they look as good as this. And I like that even the center cap is blacked out, and even the Kia is a little bit darker. It's a darker gray. So again, I think it looks really good, really uniform. Yeah, really nice, eh?
That looks great. I like what they've done.
Thank you.
That's one guy's opinion. I've contributed to the
Yeah,
video.
perfect. Thank you. All right, you have black, so shiny black, my apologies. Mirror, which looks, again, really good with the body paint. You're also going to get a turn signal indicator on the mirror. And if you come around the side, you can see that we have blind spot detection, which again will give you an audible beep if there is someone in your blind spot when you go to indicate a turn. And then again, you'll notice we've got another camera right here. So that's camera number 3 and 4 on the other side for this vehicle. So not only will it give you a beep, but it'll actually bring up a live feed when you put your indicator on while the vehicle is running, which I think is some pretty dang cool tech. One of my favorite features for sure. For the X-Line and X-Line Limited, you are going to get a bridge type roof rail, and you can see that they are a mix of a flat black plastic and then also more of those glossy black accents. Same thing with a lot of the casing around our windows and glossy black for our pillars, which again looks great. Even back here. Now, one thing I noticed, you guys know I was in Poland recently, and the Sportages there are a little bit different. They've got some more funky colors, but also they do a delete for the third window. So
what was there?
Sportage. Nothing. It's just plastic.
It was just trim.
Yeah, it's just trim.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this when I was looking at this vehicle and how often I can take that for granted because it lets in a good amount of light, but also if you are watching, if you're filling it with fuel, you can actually see into the cabin, so if you've got kids in your car seats, you can still keep an eye on them. That's facts right there. All right, we'll come around to the rear. And like I said, okay, now the lights are off, so I will turn them on for you guys. But we do actually have LEDs on the exterior too, including our high-mounted stop lamp. So lots going on for the rear, not too much of a change. Those signature, again, those taillights, which I think look really great. Exclusive, we have our X-Line badging, which you guessed it, we're only seeing on the X-Line Limited and the X-Line. And again, blacked out Kia logo in that nice low profile, and also blacked out Sportage. On some of the vehicles that we've been seeing on the Hyundai side is they'll do a mix of a darker chrome on the front, but keep it a traditional chrome on the back. I much prefer when everything is uniform, and I think that this looks really good, especially with the Sportage badging being blacked out. Now, if you're looking at this and you're like, wow, that's a pretty good looking vehicle, wish it had a rear wiper, don't worry, it does. It's just tucked underneath, it's hidden to help protect it from the elements. But it is there. For the back, again, keeping it consistent with those blacked out elements, so blackout for our bumper, our rear skid plate, everything along those lines. And as this goes up, you can get hopefully a little bit of a look at our rear view camera, so our 5th camera on this vehicle. It's wet. If you missed that, you can see that we do have a smart power lift tailgate, which is actually adjustable. You just have to press and hold down here. And one of my favorite things about the Sportage is the fact that you get the most passenger space and with the combination of the most amount of usable cargo space. Something you don't see in the Kia Sorento. If you go up to the 6-seater, generally you're going to lose a good amount of this cargo space. So this is certainly enough for a stroller, groceries, pack and play, organizer, you name it. I put it in this car and I've driven around with it and I've lived with it, and it's been a lot of fun. But for some amenities that you do have in the back seat, we have LED interior lighting, so everything truly is an LED. You even have a 12-volt, and you can use these levers here to knock down your second row if you do want to put some cargo in. That had a little bit of a bounce back, but when it is down, it does sit almost flush. Our cargo storage, you can get a good look at all this space. Take our summer mats out. And underneath, we have a temporary spare tire. So no tire mobility kit on this bad boy. You have the peace of mind of having a spare tire. The nice thing too is this cargo floor drops down. So if you want to utilize a little bit more space on the vertical, oh, I did that wrong, but it's okay. You get the point, hopefully. But if you want to use a little bit more space on the vertical, you can drop that down and it creates a nice little shelf. So if you have groceries rolling around because you forgot your reusable bags, that is nice to have it. That way not everything is falling out of the vehicle. There's also clips back here for our cargo net, and you can see that all 3 seats have rear tethers for car seats. So again, great for a parent too. Let's come around to the side. Fuel on this bad boy, the combined fuel economy is going to be 9.4 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, like I said, I drove this for a couple of years actually, and I did find that it performed a little bit better than that, and that was with predominantly city driving. I only have about a 10-minute commute, and it's all in the city, so Trust me, if I can do better than that, you guys can definitely do better than that. And a lot of that is also going to come down to some of the drive and terrain modes that we have in this vehicle. Now, the Sportage X-Line Limited, I'm happy to say, is an all-wheel drive vehicle, and it also works with a smart all-wheel drive system, if that makes sense, meaning it's going to predominantly operate in front-wheel drive to give you better fuel efficiency. However, when it detects that you need a little bit more power from the rear, say when you're coming out of a stop, it's going to give you that power, which is really nice to have. You also, like I said, have your drive and terrain modes, which are going to change either the powertrain or the torque distribution to either increase wheel spin or decrease wheel spin, whatever the vehicle detects that you need a little bit more or a little bit less of. Inside the vehicle, we do have a proximity key, so I actually have a black little button. Do I come around here and show it?
Yep.
Thank you. That I can press, and that will lock and unlock the vehicle and allow me to get inside, so I can just keep the key on my person. I don't actually need to bring it out. And in true Kia Hyundai fashion, let's take a look at the driver's side door as a first thing that we're going to look for the inside. So for the X-Line and X-Line Limited, you do get some nice wood grain trim, which again, I absolutely love. We've got some satin chrome detailing for some contrast, and one of my favorite features that starts in this trim, memory seats. Heck yeah, I love memory seats, especially as a multi-driver household. For your mirrors, they are electronically controlled. And then for your windows, you have obstacle detecting and obstacle detecting in one touch for the front two with regular automatic in the rear. You've got a bottle holder, and we have a premium sound system in the X-Line Limited. It is Harman Kardon. So some things are just nicer with the premium sound system. I'll show the seating configuration here. You can see we have lots of different ways to configure our seat. So our regular 6-way with the inclusion of 2-way lumbar support, which, like I said, can be saved. And these seats are even nicer because they are a quilted leather, not leatherette. So very nice to see that on the X-Line Limited. Do you want to come around and show the seat itself for the passenger and also the configuration? Thank you. I love that you're not talking. Like, you can't speak, it's okay.
I'm just reading comments of Zoran getting roasted.
Oh, Zoran's back. That's so nice. We haven't seen him in so long. So here's that nice quilted detailing I was talking about, and you are demonstrating the fact that it is a powered seat, even for the passenger, which is pretty nice. That's always a nice touch. I always find that it makes it feel a little bit luxe. A little bit more luxe, I'll say. Okay, so let's talk about what we've got in front of me. It's a steering wheel. If you didn't know that, good luck, Charlie. But it's leather wrapped, it's heated all the way around, and again, continuing with more of the chrome accenting. On this side, Kia sets everything up very logically, so you're gonna have more so of your media control, so your virtual assistant, your modes, everything along those lines from here. And then over here is going to be more so of your driving control. So you can access that lane following distance, lane keep assist, that smart cruise, highway drive assist, all from here. And you can use this notes button to cycle through this middle area on your cluster. Now, something I'm realizing I didn't talk about, which is also located right behind me right here, and I'll have to pop the hood, is the powertrain on this vehicle. I completely forgot to talk about this. Now, the powertrain is going to be a 2.5 liter GDI plus MPI. There we go, both of them together. So you get the benefits of both fuel injection types, which is great to see. 4-cylinder engine, and that's going to be mated with an 8-speed automatic, so no dual clutch, just a regular 8-speed, and that's going to give us an output of 187 horse with 178 pound-feet of torque. Now, I remembered that, of course, because we've got paddle shifters, so you can manually manipulate those gears should you want to do so. Behind us, wiper stalk, lighting stalk, everything along those lines. And on this side, you're going to have your brightness adjuster, traction control, an electronic parking brake, as well as your tailgate controls. Now, behind the steering wheel, you can see that we have a digital screen. So this is going to be a 12.3-inch screen, and it's your instrument cluster. It is fully digital, so digital speedometer, digital tachometer, but the middle area is what's going to be responsive for you, which is really nice. So it's got your trips computer showing you all of the specs, seeing how the vehicle responds to you. Also, it can put your route for navigation. And then also from here, so you can see that power distribution. So when you're using power from the rear versus when it's operating in front wheel drive. Also TPMS, which is great to see. And from here, you'll be able to access your safety features too. Very cool to see. I realize I haven't touched on price point, but the MSRP of this vehicle is $43,095. Yeah, $95. So there you go. That's your MSRP. And I'm also happy to say at Brand for Kia, this is actually a here and available unit. So if you want to get your hands on this one, you can, because we're a real dealership. How cool is that?
I think that's great.
Yeah, this message is Pat Hart approved. We're going to skip setup. This vehicle hasn't been PDI'd yet because it is fresh off the press. There we go. But here you can take a look at our multimedia interface. It's, again, another 12.3-inch screen. And from here, you can access all of your quick settings. So map, navigation, as I mentioned, setup. So all of those safety features, if you want to configure them, you do so through here. And each of them are going to give a little bit of a description too. That way you know what it is that you're changing and saving to your driver's profile, which I think is something that is very nice. Move down, perfect. From here, you can also see that we have things like quiet mode. We do have the capacity for HD radio, as well as Sirius XM in this vehicle, and even your climate. So everything can really be connected from here. You'll also notice that we have Kia Connect, which is Kia's telematics system. So that's going to basically be your smartphone integration, in a sense, where you're able to start and set the cabin from your phone, everything along those lines, which is nice, especially in Canadian winters or when it's scorching hot out like it was last week. Now, you'll notice something in this vehicle is we are operating with different software than we have seen recently, which means this is going to be a wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connection. So no wireless in this car for CarPlay, but I do find for this software, the wired connection is a lot more seamless. So I do enjoy that, but you do have a wireless phone charger down below. So you've got your wireless phone charger there, and then from here you can see your ports for connectivity, a USB-C 12 volt and USB-C. Up here at the top, you can see we have our switchable infotainment/climate control cluster. That's a mouthful every single time, but it's going to switch between giving you all of your necessary features. And if by any chance you don't like this, like I said, everything can be accessed or configured through the screen or done with your virtual assistant, like turning on your heated seats or setting the climate. And then of course you can see dual zone climate control, baby, woohoo! So everyone can have their own temperature and be nice and comfortable. One thing I want to point out is actually the shape of the vents. I really like them because I find that they mimic the boomerang style headlights on the front, which I think looks really, really cool. In here, framed in piano black, it's going to be just your center console. So regular leather top gear shift, which I do like, no shift by wire in this vehicle. And then you can see our heated and ventilated seats for the driver and passenger, as well as the heated steering wheel controls. Now, I mentioned our drive and terrain modes, and here's where you're actually going to be able to change them. So for your drive modes, you have normal, sport, and smart. And terrain modes, snow, mud, and sand. Terrain modes, like I said, are going to change the torque distribution. Drive modes are going to change how the powertrain responds, the steering responds, throttle response, everything along those lines to give you either a sportier or a more fuel-efficient type of configuration. You also have auto hold, idle stop and go, and downhill braking assist. Just turning this back on. And then up top, I want to show you guys our beautiful panoramic sunroof too. So huge sunroof. You'll also notice that we do have a black headliner in this vehicle. Sunroof is a nice little one touch, so I didn't need to keep my finger up there, which is nice. And then speaking of something that is one touch, if you think these cup holders look a little bit too big, they actually are our guillotine style cup holders, which is very fun to see. So they shoot up pretty quick. That's why I call them that. Center console review, decent amount of covered space there. Now, before we hop into the back row, I do want to show you guys our cameras, now that the vehicle's back on. So if the sensors detect anything, it's actually going to bring up the live feed for the sensors, which is great. So here's your rear view cam with dynamic guidelines and then your full 360. So using those 4 cameras on the exterior to piece together this full and complete picture, which I think looks really neat. From the rear view is you also have what's called a little bit more of a hitch camera. This vehicle does have trailer pre-wiring. It also has a towing capacity of 2,500 pounds when properly equipped. And you can also access the points for your mirrors, which again, great to see. And you can even have this little view where it's like you're standing outside of the vehicle looking at it. Now I'm going to turn the vehicle on quickly. And you can see when I put my turn signal on, it's going to give me a live feed of what's in my blind spot. Pretty cool, pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a great feature.
Yeah, I really like it. It's great for cyclists, especially in the city, and that may sound silly, but that's something my father-in-law absolutely loves. He has a Sportage X-Line Limited in steel gray. So you can be twins with him if you want, and he loves that feature, again, especially for cyclists. So let's head to the back seat. You put your seat so far back.
Well, I was trying to get a good angle for filming.
Could All right. One thing I love about Kia is the fact that they don't compromise on the back seat of these vehicles, so you're still getting some nice touches. You still get that leather, the quilted leather. These seats in the rear, the 2 main ones, are actually heated as well, which again, great to see. We still get that nice full wood grain trim, which is great. Harman Kardon sound system. As we drop this down, you can see we still have our armrest and cup holders. And we even have rear air vents. I'm not sure if you can see that from there, but you've got rear air vents here, so we are getting some circulation. And down at the bottom, convenience pocket, dual USB-Cs, of course, on the back of the seat, hooks and pockets. Middle seat, this is all-wheel drive, but the hump is not as big as you might expect, so decent amount of space. But what does any of the space mean when you're, someone who's 5'2", 5'3" on a good day? So let's get Mr. Pat Hart himself back here, and he will do a space review.
Oh man, okay.
So how tall are you?
A little over 6'1". Okay, so this seat in front of me is back as far as it goes, and yeah.
How's the headroom?
There's tons of headroom.
Despite having the sunroof?
I could probably be 6'8" and be okay.
Wow.
So,
Also,
and then, driving behind you, like, so much
yeah,
space.
I know. Yeah, I sit ridiculously close. Show us the middle seat.
I'd never sit in the middle. Yeah, that's
Never say never.
Yeah, no, that's never happening.
Also, if you haven't noticed, the back of our headrest, they double as a little bit of a coat hanger as well,
Yeah,
which is
that's
a
pretty
really
cool.
cool feature to see. So I think I should probably point the hood, or not point the hood, pop the hood,
Okay.
because I did not do that. That's what happens when you get into routine. I'm so used to Gabby doing the exterior all the time. So let's pop that. Prop arm. All right, and then like I said, this is going to be the mix, the 2.5 liter GDI with MPI. So again, getting the benefit of both fuel delivery systems, which is very nice to see for power, for efficiency, everything along those lines. And then that's going to be made with your 8-speed automatic for 187 horse and 178 pound-feet of torque. So surprisingly, not bad when you're driving it. Like I said, I drove them for couple years, never had a problem merging on the highway. It didn't necessarily feel sluggish or anything like that, which I know a lot of naturally aspirated vehicles sometimes can. So good to see that. But I think we should answer some questions.
Okay, let's do it.
Do you want to do it in the car or do you want to do it out here? You can pick. It's dealer's choice today.
Out here works.
Okay.
I'll just set the camera down.
Yeah, do you want to flip it around?
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, let me just adjust.
Nice.
There we go.
Like this video and let us know in the comments if you think he should stick to being a dealer principal or a cameraman.
Yeah, listen, I think you guys are all right.
I
It's
think that you
rough
do a
when
good
I'm
job.
on because it means Gabby's away, Tim's away, and Connor's away.
Yeah, Mondays are a tough day to find someone to fill in. Keith asks, is it a CVT transmission? No, it's not. It's just a regular 8-speed automatic, so just smooth shifting, none of that rubber band type feel that you can sometimes get. What's your secret to looking so young?
I mean, I'm not that old. Thank you for the compliment. I don't know. I had kids young.
Yeah.
And you had kids young,
Yeah.
so there we go.
Yeehaw. Smartha's asking, is he your dad or dad-in-law, Charlotte? This is
No,
my
dad.
dad. This is my dad, but my father-in-law does have the same vehicle.
Right.
So, yeah, take that as you want. So it's fun doing these videos sometimes with my dad, so.
You can call me Pat.
Yeah, but yeah, you can call me boss.
Yeah, if you ever get an opportunity to work with your kids, it's pretty awesome, I gotta say. So we have a good time here, don't we?
Zoran said, what? It takes fuel? Yes, it does. Just regular unleaded, baby. You don't even need to use premium.
Camille said more Pat in videos, please. I think we need to get Camille in videos.
I asked if she would do it. So for context, Camille's my sister. She's my older sister. She's recently started working here in the mornings, which means she's actually taken over my desk, which is great. So I actually don't have a place to work anymore. Yeah, we'll get Camille in these videos one of these days.
I've noticed Sly commenting, and I think Sly's new to watching us live. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for chirping Zoran. That was funny.
Yeah. Zoran, we've got some critters here that tune in for the Kia Hyundai channel, but Sly, we're very glad to have you join us live today. So thank you so much for joining. All right, any questions about the vehicle? Oh, I'll mention safety. So of course we talked about the safety features. On the rear, you do have rear cross collision avoidance assist or alert as well. So it's going to be the same as in the front, but on the rear too. But also there's 8 airbags in this vehicle in the IIHS. Although it hasn't been ranked for 2025, it is the same body style as 2024. And they rated it as a top safety pick in the event of a collision. So that's good to know.
Hey, Shar, Tommy has a question about
Sure.
a Seltos. Does the Seltos have the option that the mirrors are closing when you lock? Does it have auto folding
No.
mirrors? Yeah, I don't think it
Not
does.
for that size class. It's the Sportage doesn't have it either. It starts on the Sorento for in size class. So Sorento has it, Telluride has it, EV9 has it.
Okay, so Martha's asking, do we like the Sportage over the 2025 Tucson? And I'm not totally neutral because I come to Kia every day. I'm involved in Hyundai, but I like Kia is really where I work. And so I'm always going to pick the Kia.
Are these new pants going through the rotation ahead of Oh man, I need to stop reading questions about pants. I fear they're going to become like Gabby's green pants, where I'm just never going to be able to wear them again.
Adele Ramos, do you have spare parts for Sportage, like if the lights go and need replacing? So what happens is there's a large inventory of parts here in Canada, and if for some reason Canada doesn't have the inventory, then it goes to Korea and it ships to us from Korea. So from time to, like, obviously over COVID we had some part shortages, but largely we don't have big delays on parts most of the time. Sometimes it can take a month to get a part, but that's not super common anymore.
So Streak9 is asking, do Kia cars get over-the-air updates? So yes. Any of our vehicles that have recently gone through a refresh or redesign, they do have the capacity for over-the-air updates. The Sportage does not because of the software that it is running, but anything like Sorento, EV9, K4 will. What else am I thinking?
New Telluride.
New Telluride, once that comes out, yeah. Basically, the next cycle of refreshes, facelifts, redesigns, that's when we're going to see that integrated into all of our vehicles. Yeehaw.
Do we keep tabs on the Indian brands? Yeah, not really. They're not super prevalent in North America, and we tend to focus on our market, so I don't really. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of Chinese cars that are trying to come to North America, which we'll see what happens with that.
Sly says, from what I understand, this motor is NA. Yes, it is naturally aspirated. Naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. Does it have parking collision avoidance assist? Yes, it does.
Did we miss any other questions?
I don't know. Revved Up Gaming said, can you do a comparison of Forester versus the Sportage, like the Crosstrek and Seltos? So because we work for a dealership, we are limited to the vehicles that we have on our lot. So we've had it a couple times where we've had 2024s or 2023s of competitor product. We don't have a new Forester, so that's not something that we can do right now. But if we ever do,
I think we have a Forester, but it's not current model.
No.
So.
But if that is ever something that we do try to film it. We have done the Sportage up against the RAV4 though.
We've got a question, is the transmission CVT?
No, 8-speed auto.
That's right, 8-speed auto.
Are all chromes covered satin black in the 2025? So for the X-Line and for the X-Line Limited, which is what we're showing here, you do get that dark exterior package, which does black out the chrome accents. Now, it does not black them out on the interior, so you still get some chrome painted door handles and everything along those lines on the interior. But for the exterior, you can see it for yourself. It's blacked out, and I think it looks phenomenal. You got LED fogs too, which is great.
Yeah, I gotta say, I really like it.
I like the blacked out exterior.
We're in and out of cars all day, every day. We're driving stuff all the time, and so sometimes they do little changes like that, and it's just like, yeah, it's cool.
All right, so we've hit about the 30-minute mark, so it is time to wrap this up. But thank you guys so much for joining us, and let me know what you think down below in the comments if you think that these the small changes made a big impact, because I definitely think they do. I think it looks great on the exterior, and would I drive one? Absolutely.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
But we will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully Gabby will be back tomorrow, and we'll see you guys then for Hyundai. Bye.
Bye.